Welcome to my video on Greek orange wines. I know why you're here. You're here to see me in a toga. You're not here for the wine content. So let's get on with it, and then you can get back to your cat videos that you were watching before. Right. Oops, sorry. Should have got a costume off Amazon, shouldn't I? Right, ready for me stag do. Okay, Greek orange wines. Greece is one of the oldest wine producing countries. It's not the first country to produce wine, but it's probably the first country to really get wine as a culture and like really be part of society. They've been doing it for like over 4,000 years. The problem with Greek wine is there's hundreds of grape varieties and you can't remember what they are. And there's so many islands and so many regions that it's quite difficult to get into Greek wine. So today I'm going to give you a very simple overview of some orange wines from Greece. So for you lads and lasses who don't know what orange wine is, it's when you get white grape varieties and you make them in the style of a red wine. So you have the juice and the skins mingling together in a tank or an amphora or a barrel or whatever it is, so that you get some of the tannins, some of the phenolics, some of that texture from the skins goes into the wine. So there's a really good Greek importer called Southern Wine Roads, and they've sent us these wines. These first two wines I've got are from the Peloponnese region. So if you look at the map of Greece, there's that bit at the bottom that comes out like 3 fingers. That's the Peloponnese bit. So the first wine is from the north of this Peloponnese region, called Santor, the producer. Grape variety is Rhodotis. And I was just speaking to my friend Meli Ligas, who makes wine in the north of Greece, and she was telling me all about Rhodotis. And apparently there's like different colours of Rhodotis. So it's not all the same colour. There's like some pink ones, some green ones, some in-between ones. Most of the Rhodotis I've seen has been the pink skin one, I don't know. If you just search Rhodotis orange wine in Google, you'll get some absolute bangers. There's this wine called Tetramythos, which is amazing. And there's also Meli Ligas's wine, which is incredible as well. Like beautifully aromatic and textural wines are really cool. So all of these wines are made in a more natural way. So spontaneous fermentation, unfiltered, nice, healthy vineyards. This to me smells like classic orange wine. It's got a little bit of volatile acidity. So like this polished apricot and this polished peach. There's like a little bit of wood varnish there. It sounds like something you wouldn't want in a wine, but it's actually quite nice. And when I'm drinking it, I'm thinking about like barbecue food and Mediterranean stuff, and it's just mint. So my next wine from the Peloponnese bit of Greece is this Skin Contact Certico. I've never had a Skin Contact Certico, but I've drank loads of Certico because this is like Greece's #1 grape. This is the one that you find in Santorini, and they grow it in these little baskets to protect it from the wind and the sun. And it's like the most minerally, salty, high acid, beautiful wine. It's really cool. So in this one, they've done an 8-day skin contact on it. So this is the Markogianni Winery, and they're located near the village of Olympus. So you know where the Olympics were first born. Typical orange wine vibes. It's like grippy, it's got nice texture to it, it's got tannin, it smells a bit herby and a bit orangey and a bit apricot-y. And there's also a bit of saltiness on it as well. Yeah, I could smash a bottle of that. So I've got 2 other wines from Greece here. They're from this little island in the Aegean Sea called Lemnos. They're from the Garalis Winery. So Lemnos, it's got proper volcanic soils. The wines are made out of Muscat of Alexandria. You'll find it all over the world, and it's got like a sort of rose petal, orange peel, sort of floral element to it. Now let me get you a fact about Muscat of Alexandria, right? Here we go. I'll just turn the fire off. It's one of the oldest genetically unmodified vines still in existence. This is the shit that they were growing in Africa and Egypt and all those places, even before the Greeks started making wine. So this first one's been made in an amphora. Amphoras are great because the wine gets to circulate round, and there's a slight bit of oxygen transfer as well. You know, like if you have wine in a barrel, there's some oxygen that gets in. A lot of apricot-y flavours on this wine. There's a bit of grapiness there. There's some texture from the skin contact. It's soft, it's gentle. This is like the sort of orange wine to get you started. Drink on its own, Netflix orange wine. And that's 45 days on the skins in an amphora. It's still lovely and gentle. So Muscat of Alexandria must have quite a thin skin then. So the other wine from them, it's another Muscat of Alexandria, but they've actually blended a little bit of red wine in there called Limno, which I've never heard of. Let's give it a go. This one reminds me of volcanic wines a bit more than the last one, because it's got like a reductive quality, like a smoky, reductive thing that's a bit like when you've just lit a match or something. Yeah, lovely, lovely rocky, smoky aromas on this wine. So it's not just Greece making orange wine, it's been made all over the world now. Started in Georgia, but even in the south of England you can get orange wine now. It's one of the best wines to have with food because it's got enough substance to stand up next to most dishes, but it's not going to overpower a dish like some reds might. If you find a particular orange wine a bit rough, just have it with a bit of food, bit of fat, and just watch the tannins melt away and the wine will transform and you can just watch it evolve over the night. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on the Geordie Wine Guide.